Productivity used to be based on how many people were working together in the office. Okay, so here we are with the stocking. So far, we just have about this much to go, so we're going to keep going. Let's go ahead and count the rows that we have. Now, this is a live stream, but I'm going to upload the finished edited version for those of you who want to watch this complete instead of in pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so we have 23 rows, so I'm going to add another 7 rows. We'll see how that looks before we add the heel. So this will be, you can make this as long as you want, but we're going to add another 7 rows and see if we want to add the heel at that point. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer. So it looks like we have some viewers now. Thanks for coming in, and if you want, you can just type in the live chat window on the right-hand side. If you're on YouTube, if you're on a mobile device, then you, unfortunately, at least the ones that I know of, you won't be able to comment. But I'd still love to hear from you. So we're just wrapping each peg counterclockwise around each peg as we go in a clockwise direction around the loom. Oops, oh dear. Well, that doesn't happen too often, fortunately. And I do have giveaways. I've been giving away a lot of pick tools. So if you want one of those, stick around. So far, it hasn't been hard to win. So if you want an extra pick tool, just say hi, and I'll pick a few of you. Now, it won't be the pick tool that I'm using. I only have one of these. This is actually a dental pick. But I do have some other pick tools with some rubberized handles and some that are plastic. So I'll give away the best ones first. All right, now we're going to be picking. So we're adding 7 rows. This video is part 3, but I'm going to have all of them combined into one big, nicely edited project video. So don't worry if you missed anything. If you're a subscriber, just click subscribe to my channel, and then you should be notified. After this project, I'm going to do a Star Wars themed beanie hat. It will be if you're familiar with Star Wars, there's the robot R2-D2. Well, they have a new one that is called BB-8. And he's basically white with some orange highlights. So we are going to do a beanie hat themed after that. So we are picking another row here. So this is 2 of 7. Doesn't take long to make these. Hello to the new viewers. We're doing a Hangout, Google Hangout live stream, and I'm going to have some giveaways, so just say hi in the chat window. If you're on YouTube itself, I don't know the other apps that you might be watching this on, but if you're actually on the YouTube website, you should be able to type something in the chat window. This is just a basic Christmas stocking. It's going to be made, obviously we have white and red, and then we're going to be doing green for the heel. And I'm just using, cheapo worsted weight 4-ply yarn. Nothing special. But I need to get this done so I can get the final video up in time for Christmas. I had a Halloween video that I was going to upload. I finished it on Halloween. So that's a scarf, Halloween themed, or just kind of a costume themed anyway. So let me know in the comments section. Now the normal YouTube comment section is disabled for some reason. I don't know why, but on the right hand side there is a chat window, the right hand side to the video, and there's a window that says say something. So just let me know who's out there. Okay. Now we're just going to be pushing down. I lost track. I think this was row number 4. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going off of how it looks anyway. This doesn't have to fit anyone's foot, so we're not sizing it. Okay. So I did a live stream earlier today. Seemed a little bit more busy than right now, but we'll see. Might be quite late on the East Coast for most people. So I'll have to find the perfect time to start this, maybe 7 o'clock. I'm on Mountain Time, so I'm imagining most people are on either the Midwest or California area. So this is all right now, just an experiment. But like I said, I have some giveaways, so just say hi in the chat window, and we'll just count that as an entry. All right, here we go again. I believe this is row 5 from when we started anyway. It's a lot more than that in the full thing. I was going to do 30 rows, but I think I'm going to go now for 35 or even 40 rows. I want the top part to be quite long. We're picking again. Welcome. See, there's about 3 viewers right now. How are you guys? Curious to know where you're from. Finally got this working, at least from what I can tell, but I'm never certain until somebody chimes in and says hi. Just on the comment section if you can. You know, kind of type something kind of. Okay, so kind of in that window, if you saw that. If you are able to, maybe you're on a mobile device and you can't, so that's okay. I got to figure out how to let people watching on maybe iPhones or iPads chime in or something. Maybe Twitter. Okay, so here we go again. Wrapping and picking. Maybe I should just talk about whatever since nobody's talking. Talk about politics. It stresses most people out, or a lot of people anyway. Talk about movies. If you're on a computer or have a way to talk, just give me a topic. You can enter something to say on the right-hand side of the screen if you're on a computer. But I got to figure out the best way to do some conversation. Feels like it's being wrapped a bit too tight. You hear that squeaking sound. That's the yarn being too tight on the loom. I'll get closer here. Okay. And another row we're going to be adding. All right. And wrap the yarn off. So this might be row 6. So there's one person watching, but that might just be me. So this would be a bad time to do videos. It would appear. 10 o'clock at night. So 11, 12. Yeah, it's late night on the East Coast for sure. Oh, and we froze, it would appear. No, we're good. And we are back. Okay, let's go ahead and count the rows. Well, yeah, let's just keep going. Maybe we'll add another 10. Hello and welcome. I'm making a Christmas stocking here. This is I believe it's a 24 peg loom. It's a Nifty Knitter brand loom. I'm just using normal yarn. If you want, you can chime in the conversation or ask a question, or just let me know you're there. Say hi. On the window to the right of the video should let you type something if you're on YouTube. And I wouldn't mind hearing from you. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. Love your channel. Wow, what language is that? Is that Korean? It's coming in on the side, but I can't tell. I can't read your name. It's a different language. Forgive me if it's not Korean, but thanks. I'm glad you like the channel. We're doing a Christmas stocking. Where are you from? It is. See, I was good. I knew it was Korean. Well, I guessed it was Korean. It looked Korean. Oh, welcome. So do you live in Korea or did you just write in Korean? Maybe we're going to be getting people from around the world this late at night in the US. And how do you pronounce that? I'm curious to know how I would pronounce your name, because I would have no clue how to say that. So how do you pronounce that? Please let me know. I had a friend in elementary school. She was Korean. Her name was Stella O. She just had a letter O for her last name. I'll help you reply. I don't see a reply yet. Do you speak English? I study Korean, but I will. Oh, but I wish I lived there. My name is pronounced Milira. Milira? Milira. Did I get that right? So Milira, are you Korean? And where are you in the world? Milira. Milira. I got to say it fast, otherwise it sounds like I don't know your name. Milira. Does that sound right? Now, forgive me if I'm asking too many questions, but I'm really trying to figure out the best way. I'm just an American girl. That's not fair. Don't say just an American girl. Being American is cool. But I do like other cultures. That's fine. Okay, so Melira, what are you watching this video on? Are you on a computer? Are you on a tablet? Are you on an iPhone or something? I want to figure out so I can help people know what they can use to chat on and all that stuff. And are you a subscriber of the American Knitter channel, or did you just kind of stumble across this? You said you loved my channel, so I'm guessing you are a subscriber, even though I haven't uploaded it in forever. But why are you in love with Korea? I'm curious also on that. That's not a common culture to be, at least from America, to be in love with. I'm on a laptop, but chat also works on mobile. And yes, I'm a subscriber. This channel's helped me make my first. Oh, awesome. Cool, cool, cool. On a round loom or knitting needles? We're in a. We need to find somebody who does knitting needles again. But that might be a while. This channel needs to be able to pay for somebody besides me. This is just kind of a hobby. But if we can build it, I would love to get way more people involved in this. On a round loom. Okay, so that was I don't know if I've done a scarf. My wife, that was my wife in the, at least, oh no, I do have an older video that I uploaded, but one of them was my wife. The other was somebody that when I first started making round loom how-to videos. Well, Melira, if you want, I'm going to give away some stuff. So, what's your favorite color? Let me know what your favorite color is. And I hope I have that color. It's purple. Oh my goodness, really? Okay, well, man, I guess I should make some purple projects. All right. What's your second favorite color? Well, no. How would you like? I don't have any purple yarn, but I could send you some. How does that sound? All you have to do is on the channel, just click about, and then you can send a message. Then just send your address. And I'll send you some yarn. If you want. And I'm not going to send you any spam or any kind of stuff like that. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. I mean, I got to give stuff away. I'm doing a Christmas stocking. So just click on the about and then send your email. But what's funny is you're the second person in one of the other videos I did. Because I've got a ton of yarn. And the other person asked for purple. So maybe I should do some purple projects. Now, let me ask, what kind of purple? Because there's like three. There's like lavender, there's like grape deep purple, or there's electric neon purple. Because I was just in Hobby Lobby just the other day buying purple yarn, and they had those three different ones. So let me know. Otherwise, if you don't tell me, then I'll just pick one. But this is fun. I like this. I like being able to interact with people. I work from home, so I don't commute. I don't have any coworkers. My brother I work with, but he works from his home. It's cool though, because I'm home with my family. But, you know, I still like talking with people. So yeah, let me know what shade of purple. And don't post your address here. Do the about message thing. Otherwise, other people will see it. Okay, let's. All right, let's see. Now this, stockings are usually, I mean, they're called stockings for a reason. So it's not a Christmas sock. So I don't want to go twice this length, but I do want a little bit more before we get to the heel. And Lyra, I haven't seen what color you want. Maybe there's a delay in this in the chat thing, but let me know. Royal purple. Royal purple. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. What is that closer to? I'll look it up, but just describe it. And no, it's not a hassle at all. Not a hassle. I live right down the street from a Hobby Lobby, and I have their Hobby Lobby app, which gives me 40% off. So it's not a big deal. So what is royal purple? Let's see if I have the purple. Yeah, here's the purple I bought for someone else. Looks kind of blue though. Looks really blue. This is really off. Let's see what color they named this. So this won't help. So I'll look up royal purple. Did they give? Oh, grape. This is grape purple. So it's purple, I promise. I'm not colorblind. So I'll Google royal purple and just see which one is closest. So what are you going to make with a purple skein of yarn? And after this project, I'm going to do a Star Wars themed beanie hat. Into Star Wars? Probably a hat. I'm going to do a Star Wars themed BB-8, which is the replacement for R2-D2, or the new one. That'll be interesting. I didn't see R2-D2 in any of the Star Wars trailers. Are you into Star Wars? Gosh, I got to get a bigger sleeve. This is starting to dig into my hand. Bigger cover. I like this pick because it's really strong. Doesn't bend. Oh, you haven't seen it? Are you? So you hate sci-fi, or you just never had a chance to watch them? Because if you're going to watch them, there is a very specific order that you need to watch them. And there's a really easy way to watch them. I'll tell you about, but I'll wait for your answer. Because I won't waste if you're not into it, I won't waste time just telling you about it. And so my next question then, if you've never seen them, I'm wondering how old you are. Are you a teenager or are you older? I just met a guy a few months ago. He's older than me. I'm 36. And he never saw any of them. And he was taking film when they came out. He was in a film class. And they were analyzing those movies at the time, and he never took the time to see them. Just never had a chance to see the series. I'm in my 20s. To answer your question. It's been lovely chatting with you, but gotta go. Oh, okay. Well, I know what that's about. Cool. What's your channel? Let's give it a plug. What do you do? And yeah, thanks for talking. But if you watch them, if you do watch Star Wars, watch episodes, let's see, 4 and 5, and then watch 1, 2, 3, and then watch episode 6. Oh, okay. You know what I like about Korean? The beeping bop. I think that's how it's phrased. There's a Korean neighbor down the street from me. Beeping bop. That's one of the best things from Korea. It's tasty. Anyway, well, it was nice talking with you. And I'll check out your channel. So have a good night and Merry Christmas. And if you want, send your address, and I'll send you some yarn. So do you talk about psi, PSY, or do you talk about other stuff that's not uber popular? That's pretty good length. I think we'll start the, okay, cool. Well, it was nice meeting you, Milira. So you can look for the completed project when it's done. I'm just going to do these in segments till they're done. I may finish this tonight. We'll see how far it goes. But anyway, nice meeting you. Okay, so next we are going to change colors to do the heel. And so I'm going to cut the red and go to the green. So we'll clean that up. That was kind of a fraying edge. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay. Oh, we got a knot here. There we go. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We have the red that we're going to cut. So it's just got a section long enough. And then we're going to tie it on with a square knot. Isn't this Christmassy? Okay, red and green. Okay, and then we will cut off the excess. And what we're going to do, so we're going to start the heel as soon as the green gets wrapped on the peg. So we'll wrap these pegs. Okay, so it's actually just this peg here is where we will start the heel. And we are going to wrap 10 pegs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. And then we'll get the pick tool. Actually, let's go 12. I want a little bit more of an exaggerated heel. So 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so we've got 12 pegs wrapped. And then we are going to pick the yarn up and over, just like we would if we wrapped the whole thing. So if there's anyone else watching, you can chime in on the chat section. If you're watching this on YouTube, well, it is streaming on YouTube, but if you're on the YouTube website, there's a chat window. Okay. All right, so we did 12 pegs. We're going to push it down, and we are going to be wrapping the yarn back. So it's kind of, I always get confused. Okay, so we're just wrapping it backward to the peg, to the first peg of the green. Okay. Oh, we got one more. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. Hold on a second. I forgot. I forgot. You reduce it, but but I don't remember if you reduce it immediately. So you go boom, 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 boom. Okay, sorry folks. You can chime in for those of you watching at home. I forgot how to make a heel, so I'm going to look it up on one of my older videos. I don't remember if I wrap it on 2 pegs or I wrap it. I don't remember when I start the decrease. That's what I'm saying. So let's get this going. Wow, suddenly a lot of people are watching. They want to see the they chime in as soon as I put the loom down. So right now I'm just looking up the sock. Okay, the heel part. But I do have some giveaways, so chime in. I already gave away some yarn. I've got some pick tools that I'll give away, so just introduce yourself. Okay, so all right, so we're going to decrease 1 peg. That's right. So we decrease immediately, and then we increase. So I wrapped 12, so now I'm going to be wrapping 10. So I start there, and then I just wrap each peg back all the way to the second peg with the yarn on it. So I will now pick here. And so we're going to decrease a peg on each side until we get to 2 pegs. And then we will increase on each side until we get to the full 12 pegs again. And that will create the heel. It really is quite simple. So this is the part that people probably would have wanted to come and join in the program. Okay, so now we're going to be decreasing again. All right, so we're decreasing again. So there's 2 pegs on each side that are, oh, not sure if my messages are sending. Well, I see that one. Oh, there we go. Hello, Catherine Kozlov. Nice to meet you. I'm Andrew, and we're making a Christmas stocking, if you didn't already gather from the title. And I think I just messed up, but we won't talk about that. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm good. So we are decreasing. We wrapped 12 rows, and we're decreasing a peg on each side until we get down to 2 pegs. So are you a subscriber, Catherine, or did you just kind of stumble upon this? I'm curious. So now we're going to have 3 pegs on each side. So here we go, wrapping till we have 3 green pegs, 1, 2, 3, that are exposed. I've never loom knitted. Is this just for loom, or is there a regular knitting pattern for it? Well, this is just for the loom. These are pretty cheap. You can pick these up at any craft store. You get a set of 4 of them for about $15. You can buy them on Amazon. If you have a Hobby Lobby nearby, I'd recommend that one, or just getting a set from Amazon. I wouldn't buy the Boy brand, but that's just my preference. A lot of people do like those. And the Boy brand is from Walmart. So Okay, well, thanks. I haven't uploaded a video in a while. My wife has some videos on the channel as well. But yeah, we're just making a Christmas sock and we're working on the heel. I'm filming two versions of this video. One that's what you see right now, and then I have a higher definition camera that I'll be uploading the finished, fully edited version in a separate video so that you can go at your own pace, and it's not going to be as long or detailed. So this is the long drawn out version, but it gives me a chance to talk to you guys and find out what kinds of videos you're looking for. So I just left off with 3 pegs on each side. So now we're going to decrease again. So we will have 4 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, Boy products, I've reviewed a few of them and I just wasn't impressed. But I know there are people that like them, so. Okay. And so now what we are going to do, this doesn't seem right. I hope it's right. I'm going to decrease again. Let's see. I always get confused on this part. So, okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh boy, I botched it. 3, 4, 5. Oh shoot. I stopped paying attention. Maybe I shouldn't talk on this part. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on that side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll just wrap one more. Maybe that's what I just did, but whatever. Okay. It's a Christmas stocking. It's not the end of the world if it's wrong. Okay. All right, so now I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll just reduce one. And then there we go. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're good. All right, so from this point, I'm going to pick and I'm going to increase now because you can't really wrap and pick one peg. So we are going, so I'm on this peg, so I'm going to go here. So you kind of wrap in an odd direction for that one peg. So there we go, we're back to 4 now. And what you're going to notice, sorry, I'm going off camera here. What you're going to notice is that when you finish this, there's going to be some gaps on the sides of the heel, and you can stitch those closed. So we're increasing again. So we are increasing, so we'll have 3 on each side. Okay, so you have gaps when you're doing this. And when you have gaps, you can sew them closed if you wish, or just kind of stretch it out, or just leave them. But that is kind of the nature of using this loom to make socks. If you have a stretchy yarn, it will kind of pull it together. Okay, so we're going to increase again so that we'll have 2 on each side. And this is what this is doing, is creating the bend, just creating a bulge really on one side of the sock, and then it will kind of straighten out. But it's because it's got the bend, it just puts the bend in the kind of the shape of the sock. Maybe I should have gone to really exaggerate the heel. Maybe I should have gone this way and then back and then decreased. I think that might have made a fuller. I like to use a wool blend so it'll felt together. Yeah, a lot of times I just use the cheap yarns just because my idea is to make a lot of videos. And I did come into some wool yarns just recently though. Someone was selling a ton of them for very cheap. But yeah, maybe I'll do that. I have a lot of orange wool yarn, so I think maybe I'll make a sock out of that and see how much better that looks on here. So you're saying you get that the holes like that even with knitting needles? So you can see right here, there's some holes, and you can kind of stretch it out a little bit. Here we go. We're going to expand again. Sometimes, yeah, I'm a loose knitter. Okay. Yeah, I think this heel isn't going to look as good as I wanted it to. Seems too small, but we'll be able to tell when it's too late. Okay. All right, so now we've finished the heel. And so what we're going to do is just cut the green yarn, tie the red back on, and then we're just going to be getting into finishing up. I may make the toe green again, just to give it a little bit more variety. We'll see when I get there. So let's go ahead and cut this off. Always make cute Christmas decor around the house. Yeah, it's nice. I like Christmas decorations. We decorated I put on the lights and all the kids decorated the tree with my wife. It was a lot of fun. It's really fun when you have a bunch of little kids around. Okay. All right, so we're just going to start wrapping now. Let's see. Yeah, so we've got 3, so we'll just pick up from that peg and go all the way around the loom and continue wrapping and picking until we get a length that we like. We'll kind of see what it looks like after a while. Stuff it with acorns and pine cones. Yeah, that's true. Just make it just something to look at. That'd be fun. Yeah, I started this with some specialty yarn. It was a pink, not pink. It was a soft, really soft white yarn, but it kept breaking because there was zero stretch to it, and even when I tried to wrap it loose, it just wasn't working. So I ended up with the worsted weight 4-ply yarn. So, Catherine, where are you from? I'm in Utah, just outside of Salt Lake. I was streaming earlier today, and there was a lot. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it is the Burnett baby yarn. South Carolina. Oh, you're up late. Do you have work tomorrow? All right, we're going to do another row. Eventually, all this green will be picked off. I'll just be in the red. South Carolina. Yeah, I was looking up, my wife and I were looking for where we'd want to move. I take night classes and some professors ditched. The professors didn't show up? That's terrible. What do you study? What's your major, or just whatever classes you're taking? That's weird that the professors didn't show. But we were looking at South Carolina because the weather was really nice, like all year round. It's one of the most stable on the East Coast that we found. Law and psychology. Are you going to be a lawyer? A lawyer. I've actually got quite a few lawyer neighbors. One of them's a patent intellectual property lawyer. What law are you going into? The other guy's a real estate lawyer. It's amazing here. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Because I grew up in San Jose, California. So I got spoiled with that weather. When Utah gets freezing cold and then blazing hot. Not too sure yet. Well, yeah, I've got another friend of mine. He's a lawyer in Texas, and he criminology. Oh, that's fun, but I imagine it might be very stressful. But my friend in Texas, he's a family law lawyer, and every once in a while he'll write about how many, where he lives, there's so many lawyers in family practice or family law that it's kind of drowned the industry. But criminology, it only seems like that's increasing. So only 18, still trying. Oh, you got time. Yeah, I wouldn't freak out about it. But that's good that you're sounds like you got your head on straight. Although you're going to be a lawyer, so I don't know. No, I like all my lawyer friends. There's a few lawyers I've met that I've never run into them in any legal capacity, but just personality wise, not a fan. But I like more of my lawyer friends than I don't like the lawyer acquaintances, if that makes sense. But yeah, everybody hates a lawyer till they need one. That's for sure. Just don't be a sleazy, greasy lawyer. That's my advice. There's some awful, awful ones. Unbelievable. So what that they can just, it seems like they have no soul. So are you looking to be a psychologist, or that was just kind of a side thing? Beauty school for nails. Well, you could do both. Oh, I'd go for the law. That sounds well, but do what you want. Pray about it. I don't. Maybe you already have, but yeah, cool. Go for it. Well, especially if you're going to have kids and all that stuff, you can study nails and things on YouTube, really. But law, you need time to study that stuff. That's cool. Yeah, I think I'd make a good lawyer. I like debating stuff. I in high school we our teacher wanted us to start debating. We didn't have any practice. We didn't even take any classes. It was just let's see who could argue argue the best. And they were giving us topics, and I was having so much fun, and I was just destroying everybody. It was awful. I would be one of those sleazy soulless lawyers. um, but somebody finally got me in the debate, because it was at this time the question was about adoption and should it be should interracial adoptions be legal? And I was saying no, they can't take them away from their culture. They won't feel, they'll basically, that was my argument, is that the culture is very important. And if you take someone of a race out of their culture, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the opposing argument just brought up, said love. I said, well, if you love somebody, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what race they are. And of course, how do you argue against that? So anyway, are you still there? Okay. So now we're just coming up to the toe portion. But that's cool that you're going for that. Yeah, psychology is really interesting too. Crazy how the brain works and how people think, but really it's funny how so many people are, so easy to read and figure out. It's like there's 10 different problems that everyone has, and they all have symptoms that are similar. And once you start seeing the patterns, you can figure people out so easily. So if you those two things, psychology and criminology, you could be pretty powerful if you figure all those things out. Be able to read people. Because, like people with addictions, doesn't really matter what their addiction is. Drugs or food. alcohol, all that stuff really all stems from the same kind of problems. Hi from Colorado. Grandparents live here, wanted to learn more about them. Cultures, one actually. This is so cool to have you both on my phone and the computer. Well, hello, Tina. Addiction and sexuality is what got me into psych. Amazing learning how they could all come together. Yeah, you know, there's somebody. A lot of people think he's crazy, but if you listen to him, if you kind of, you know, a lot of people think that he's nuts just because of the types of words he'll use, but and that's, I don't know if that's always the best way to introduce somebody, but there's a guy named Roy Masters, and he used to be a hypnotist. Are you going to wrap and turn on the heel? Well, we did the heel already, as you can see in green. So now we're just doing the toe portion. So we increased and decreased on the heel. If that's what you're asking. But yeah, so Catherine, on the psych thing, if you want to look, Google Roy Masters. He's got this radio show he does. He's been on the radio for like 50 years. It's called The Foundation of Human Understanding. And you know, he gets religious, but even if you're not religious, he really has a firm grasp on understanding addiction and just the human nature. It's fascinating. When I first listened to his show, I thought it was a joke. So there's no way that these people are real. There's no way he can figure out these people that fast. And he did it in a second. And then you after a while you start seeing the patterns of human behavior. But yeah, he used to be a hypnotist, and then he realized that it wasn't really helping anybody, just covering the problems when they manifest in other ways. Have I watched Purling Sprite? Peruling Sprite? No, I don't know what that is. What's Peruling Sprite? And Tina, I'm just one state away. I'm in Utah. And we're talking about becoming lawyers. Forgive me, Catherine, if that's what you've become. I'm just, you know, I like saying it that way. The New York, Columbia law. Are you going to go to Columbia if you go that route, or where are you going to go to law school? Meds do that too. Cover the problem, you mean? Yep. Medications. I think sometimes for some people a temporary medication might help, but I think there's way too many people walking around on psychotropic drugs. Isla Phelps. Oh, no, I haven't heard of her. So she has a Round Loom channel. Well, you've got time. But yeah, if you're interested in psychology and figuring out, check out that Roy Masters guy. He's an old guy with an English accent, and he helps people figure out their problems. So it's fun. Yeah, they can do that. I'm sorry you lost your dad. We're getting into heavy conversations here. But yeah, it's antidepressants can really mess someone up. let's see. So since then, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 years ago. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's terrible. It's never fun seeing somebody who's going through depression. Double posting? Oh, I only see it one place, so that's okay. Yeah, you've got time, Catherine. You know, 18 years old. Don't burn yourself out. But I'd love to know if I was able to go back and know what I know now. Being 18, I was actually a missionary for my church when I was 19, and so I lived in Italy for a couple years. And when I came home, I looked and I saw America in a whole different way. There was so much opportunity, and I realized why so many immigrants become radically successful here, just incredibly successful, because there's so much opportunity. But when you grow up surrounded by it, you kind of don't see it. Chronic pain. Yeah, you should call Roy Masters. He really helps people out. I spent some time in the island of Sardinia. That's just out in the Mediterranean. And then I spent some time in Naples, and then some time north of Rome. So mostly the middle of Italy. But yeah, I need to practice my Italian because it's gotten rusty. That's still okay. If I listen to music, I can, understand pretty much everything. But if I watch the news, they speak too fast. Ireland and Sweden. Yeah, I haven't been to Ireland. I've been to England a few times. My mom's from England, and Sweden would be cool. Yeah, Europe's just amazing. It's so cool because you don't have to travel far at all, and you're in an entirely different culture. And it's just fun to see how they do things. Some things you just kind of face palm and say, what are you doing? Like the Italians have a very relaxed pace. Oh, if you like figuring out why people do things and all that kind of stuff, which it sounds like you do if you're going into psych and criminology, there's Roy Masters, and then there's this guy named Rapaille. Rapaille. Kiev, Ukraine. Oh, awesome. Was an immigrant, became judge of Granite City, Illinois. Cool. Yeah, look up this guy. His name is Rapaille. I'll type it in here. So, and then the other guy is. Oh, so it's Ukrainian night, huh? So yeah, this guy named Rapaille. He grew up. He was born in France, and he grew up during World War II, and when it was occupied by the Germans. And he hated him. He hated the Germans. They were just mean, and their language was so harsh. And then his town that he grew up in was liberated by Americans. And so his first impression of Germans was the mean, harsh, totally unkind. And his first impression about Americans was they scared away the Germans. The Germans were scared of them, and they had candy. So this guy's made millions helping companies understand their customers. But he understands cultures. He understands why Germans do the things that Germans do, why Americans do the things that Americans do. Like he did a study of American kids and German kids and Legos. And basically what happened was he separated the kids by their, American kids in one group, German kids in the other group, and he gave them all packets of Legos. Well, the German kids gently opened the box, separated all the pieces in order, and built the Lego thing, whatever it was, exactly according to the directions. And the American kids ripped the boxes open, dumped all the Legos out, and just threw them together, created some weird new thing that no one had ever seen before. And so that's the kind of studies that he does, and it's fascinating to see the culture differences and why they do things. Like Americans are all about energy. Food is energy to them, whereas in Europe, food is something to be treasured and enjoyed. I had a friend that was almost publicly executed by Hitler for not saluting. Ugh. Oh, that's awful. Wow. So how old is your friend? Yeah, I met people that loved Mussolini. That was weird. But then I met people that were POWs in America. They were taken to America when they were captured. And these were Italians, and they loved America. They said, oh, it was the best. I was never treated so well as a prisoner of war. So that was neat. That made you feel good, Uncle was an SS officer who saved her. Gosh. Yeah, it's who you know a lot of times. That's terrible. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. What a nightmare. Okay, we're still going. This heel isn't big enough. So I should have done double the stitches that I did. So back and stayed on, and then forward and back. So Stephen Nasser. I don't know who that is. Who's Stephen Nasser? She was 65 when she died. Yeah, suffering can. I read a quote about the nature of the elderly are much like the nature of babies, except there's some exceptions. Holocaust survivor. He wrote a book about it. Okay, yeah, I met a few when I was a teenager. I remember meeting somebody. He lived in my neighborhood, but he grew up. He remembered the smells of the mass graves and in Germany. His name was Dutch. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't remember what I was saying, but And these are some serious topics. That's all right. I love talking about this kind of stuff. Things that matter. That's probably I talk about politics and God, the two things that you're not supposed to talk about. That's actually what I enjoy talking about. But yeah, I've had several of them of the Holocaust survivors that I know, were, you know, with tears in their eyes. One was from Budapest, and just tears in their eyes. Don't let anyone ever tell you this didn't happen. It's unbelievable that is actually believed by a lot of people, that the Holocaust never happened. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going down the same path. Yeah, exactly. I can't stand talking about sports. I can't stand it. If other people, if that's their hobby or whatever, but you know, when it becomes the only thing that anybody can talk about, it's just sad. But oops. Yeah, I've been I've got a few YouTube channels. This is one of them, but I've got another one where I've been meaning to start posting regularly, where I talk about what's going on in the world and just my opinions. I mean, I have no idea if anybody would watch it, but I think more people need to start talking about things that matter. There's so many distractions in the world, and they're powerful distractions. You know, movies alone, then all the sports teams that everybody follows. It's like they get caught up in just watching rivalries of things that don't matter. And then if you ask them anything about what's going on in the world of politics, things that actually affect them, they're clueless, and then they go vote without having thought about any of it. It's just insane. Pissed me off one day when some teeny bopper girls said they wished communism. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, they don't. It's America's turn to learn that lesson. That's for sure. Seems like it. Unbelievable how many people seem to think Bernie Sanders is speaking sense. Oh, yeah, just take money. Okay, so here's a question for you, Catherine, because there was recently somebody interviewed talking about how colleges need to have free tuition. Is that your belief? Curious. We can do this civilly if you disagree. If you think, I don't think, everything I've gotten, I've worked, you know, sweat and blood for. I killed myself trying to build a business. So I'm curious to know. Yeah, my granddad was in England. He was in the Royal Air Force. I don't believe that. No. Okay, good. All right. See, it's nice to know that the rising generation is not totally insane. It gets scary because one day, if the majority, like the hippie generation, which is currently in power, the baby boomers, it's a mixed bag, but man, there's a lot of crazy people. People work so hard to pay for education. Yeah, that's what you need to do. If you want to be educated, you've got to work for it. It's just that simple. Yeah, my granddad was in the Royal Air Force. He designed parts, actually. He helped design a part that took out the Italian Navy that Japan ended up copying to take out the U.S. Navy. Pearl Harbor, which happened today. Unbelievable. December 7th. A day that will live in infamy. It's respectful for me to just take money from those less fortunate. Well, you have your head on straight. So that's cool. Is it frozen? Looks like it's frozen. Oh, no, it's not. It's just I was talking. So who do you guys want to see as president? What are your thoughts on that? He was a crew chief for the P-38s. His plane was Noah's Ark, or are you saying Noah's Ark? That's cool. P-38s. Yeah, my granddad worked on those. He would design parts, and he worked in a munitions factory. Not sure yet. Just definitely not Trump. Well, yeah, I'd like to see Ted Cruz or Rand Paul. That's who I'd like to see, but I don't see that happening. And Hillary should just be in prison. Between you and me. The problem with Trump is that he's saying a lot of things that are true, but I think his ego is really off-putting. So what is it that you don't like about Trump? Because there's a lot of things that I agree with him, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. He seems kind of like a loose cannon. I think it's just the fact that he's been in business so long and it's always been his way. I think should do like Europe, where everyone goes to the 8th grade and test to see. Continue. You don't morally agree with Trump? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Yeah, but I think we can all agree, well, yeah, doesn't have the right mindset for president. Well, I think he's a good leader. He's definitely a better leader than Obama. And I mean, then you have Hillary Clinton, who has so many scandals around her. It's just awful. Then you have Bernie Sanders, who's a crazy socialist. And then on the right, you have people like Chris Christie, I don't like him at all. I don't trust him. There's a few on the right that I think are good, but I really think that Trump is going to be the president, for better or worse. I do think that he loves America, though, which can't be said for some of the other candidates. Anyone is better than Obama. You think Trump is a pig? Well, he speaks his mind, that's for sure. Hillary has an advantage because of Bill? No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody likes Hillary, to be honest. I mean, there's the diehard Hillary Clinton fans, but if anybody does any time thinking about what's going on there, it's just appalling who we have to choose from and who's just put on the sidelines. I mean, like Ben Carson seems like a good guy, and a lot of times he'll say things where it's like, oh, that sounds good, and then this isn't good. This should be twice the size. Dang it. You thought Clinton did great. Well, Clinton's a monster. How else can I put it? Bill Clinton was an absolute monster. He, aside from his politics, all that aside, just the moral decay that he caused in this country. He's responsible for a lot. He got us out of the deficit. You know, I don't think so. I know a lot of people say that, and why wouldn't he take credit for it? But if you think about what was going on at the time of the end of his presidency, that was the dot-com boom era where billions and billions of dollars were trading hands every single day. I don't think it would have been that hard for anybody. Who in history wasn't a monster? Calvin Coolidge. He wasn't a monster. George Washington wasn't a monster. Reagan was pretty good. Reagan the person, not Reagan the president. I liked Ronald Reagan as a person. Teddy Roosevelt, heck no. No way. He was awful. He was a my way or the highway guy. No thanks. He was the one that started all this progressive stuff. The slow march to communism. John Adams. Yeah, John Adams was good. He was a bit on the Federalist side, but he at least respected the law. Definitely not Teddy Roosevelt. And I have no idea why Andrew Jackson's on the $20 bill. That's a disgrace. He was one of the worst presidents. Andrew Jackson. So where did Catherine go off to? Did you sign off, or are you still? He was one of my favorite, and he was for open space. John Adams? Not John Adams. Are you talking about Roosevelt? No, I don't like Roosevelt. It's been a while since I looked it up, but I think the Spanish-American War, that wasn't cool what he pulled off, if I'm recalling correctly. Okay, no, that's fine. This is, I'm just trying to still figure out all the kinks of using a Google Hangout, so. Oh, well, I've got plenty of opinions. I'm opinionated to a fault. I think. Okay, I'm not liking this thing. I'm not digging this stocking. Whatever. What should I do? Should I do a stripe of green or should I do not a stripe? I'll do just a green toe. But I don't think I'm there yet. Yeah, I know we have national parks because of him, but so yes, I do think there should be national parks, but look at how much land the federal government has grabbed. If you look at the map of Utah, for example, the amount of land in Utah that belongs to the federal government is close to 90%. 90% of the state of Utah belongs to the federal government. So where did that start? Most of it started with Roosevelt. Clinton is also responsible, specifically in Utah, for taking a huge chunk. He signed all this stuff. He even brought a desk out to Zion and signed it out in the middle of the wilderness with Al Gore clapping over his shoulder. So yeah, that wasn't cool. And I don't think the federal government, has the right to claim the land that belongs to the states. My husband is no. I think you need to knit straight for several rows on the heel before you're decreased. Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I realized. Yeah, this is true. Yeah. So what I'm saying, it will still work with acorn. Yes, thank you, Catherine. You're believing in me. They're building on this land. Yeah. If you read, I read on the website of the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Basically, what it says is, hey, Red Man, the land that you're on is yours until we say it's not. You're sovereign until we say you aren't. You aren't. Unfortunately, it's terrible. It's absolutely sickening, and that's why I think Andrew Jackson was one of the worst presidents. What he did to the Cherokees and so many Native Americans. And, I'm not the one who's going to believe that the Native Americans were the most passive friendly. They were slitting throats and murdering people before, the Europeans showed up. So they weren't saints themselves. But yeah, Andrew Jackson was a monster in that regard. And it continues to this day with John McCain and all these senators and presidents imposing their will upon what are labeled sovereign tribes, sovereign nations. Not as much as I think. I don't know. Intarsia pattern. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about what the Intarsia pattern is, but Fair Isle, that gets pretty complicated. There was war. Are you using speak to text? Because sometimes I'm reading stuff I can't understand. There was war before the D. So you said you're in Colorado. So is everyone walking around high on pot for the most part, or is it just kind of pockets of doobie rolling? Yeah. Most part would have a game again. Yep. No. If you write an answer, it's hard for me to put things in context if it's just one word, but most part they would have a game. Things nice I could tell you. Okay. All right, so I think I'm getting close to going back to the green color for the toe. That is the mindset of the other 49 states. The mindset that everyone's rolling doobies in Colorado. Yeah, I don't think the government should be involved in making any of that illegal. I don't think anybody should smoke pot either, but I think it just makes it worse. You open organized crime up big time when you make all these things illegal. You know what I'm saying? So where are you from, Tina, originally? Colorado? Okay, let's see. Yeah, this has got to be longer. But dang it, I ruined that heel. I'll have to talk about it in the video, in the final edit. This is quite the long stream that I've been going. I've been going for 2 hours now, almost. An hour and 40 minutes. So what are your hobbies, Tina? And then Catherine, when you come back, what are your hobbies? Curious. Oh, Sarah, hi. I heard Missouri is jumping on the pot train. Oh, dear. Well, like I said, I think it should be legal, but I don't think anybody should smoke it. Born and raised in Colorado. And you, Sarah, where are you from? And then I'm asking about hobbies. What are your hobbies? I'm guessing maybe knitting is one of them. I use pot for pain, allergic to pain meds. Okay. Yeah, see, I think that's fine. But I still don't think people should smoke it. I think it's a lot more dangerous than people let on, but I still think it's better than taking all these pharmaceuticals that really mess people up. Hi, Catherine. Welcome back. So we're talking about hobbies. Hunt, fish, camp, and hick. What's hick? Hiking. Okay. Hick. I hick. So you're a redneck. Hiking. Yeah. It's okay, Tina. We're not going to judge your typing skills. Knitting, crocheting, sewing, and computers. That's the curveball that you threw in. Computers is your hobby. So what, like games? Or, well, yeah, cigarettes kill people more than pot, probably because more people smoke cigarettes than smoke pot. So what's the computer hobby? Curious. Knitting, crocheting, nails, and gardening. Gardening's cool. I wouldn't mind. I'm looking to buy some land with enough land to let my kids run around. Have a bunch of fruit trees. Right now I'm in a townhouse, so there's not much room for gardening. Games, graphic design, photo editing, and shopping, of course. So I assume you use Adobe Photoshop. I use that quite a bit. Secondhand smoke killed my grandma. Yeah, my grandparents on my mother's side both died of lung cancer. From England. Everybody smoked then. A lot of people still do smoke in Europe. Graphic design. So you're a graphic designer? My brother is. He always has a joke when people say, "Oh, you're a graphic designer?" And then he replies, "Very graphic." It's pretty funny. Able to get some fresh picked cotton with cotton seeds still inside it, helping get more seeds soil. Cool. I've never seen cotton growing, actually. I don't know. What's paint shop? So are you an artist? When you come back, tell us about that, please. I'm curious. If you have a website, type it in. She came down with emphysema, and I know. That's okay. We can read. We can fill in the gaps. Yeah, growing cotton. That's cool. Yeah, I like cooking, restoring video games, Italian, and painting. I'm not very good at it, but it's really, I really relax when I'm doing that kind of stuff. Huge fields of just cotton. Wow. I didn't know that. All painting is good painting. That's not true. That's not true. Pablo Picasso is awful. Did you know, this is true, I'm not making this up. Did you know that modern art, all of the modern art movement, okay, not all of it, but the modern art movement is encouraged and propagated by the communists. Stalin, Lenin, all those guys perpetuated the modern art movement to destroy the West's culture. True story. Look it up. I'm not making this up. So that being said, I like modern architecture, some of it. Modern architecture. There's a show, if you have Netflix, it's called Extreme Homes. It's really fun. I discovered that I like mid-century modern architecture. Not white, though. A lot of times modern homes are white. But there's one that was glass, steel, wood, and stone. Modern is in the later episodes. That's the kind of house I want. It's awesome. I would burn and use watercolor pencil. Yeah, watercolor pencils are cool. But if anybody likes Pablo Picasso, I won't judge. Van Gogh's great. See? Yeah, Van Gogh's fantastic. There's a lot of great artists. There's one that I really like. His name's Winslow Homer. He's amazing. He does watercolors, but they look like oil paintings, which is just insane. He's one of the artists I've never heard of. Another one is Bouguereau. I don't know how to spell it, but he's a French artist, and his paintings look like photographs. Best artist, Van Gogh, yeah. Monet is funny. Some of his paintings are just like, what are you painting? It doesn't. Like you know what you're looking at, but it's just you look at it and you say, that's the subject that you chose. It's just boring. but when Monet paints, I mean, some of his subjects are just absolutely amazing. I'm not knocking Monet, but I just don't get some of his choices. Starry Night, yeah, Starry Night's great. Now Da Vinci, that guy was something else. He wrote backward. I have some of his prints, and I was looking at them because I knew he was Italian. I was trying to read it, but it just looked like garble. And then someone told me that he wrote in mirror. I don't know if he used a mirror, or if he just wrote backward to kind of help hide what his notes were, because he was getting into anatomy and dissecting humans, and that was frowned upon by the Catholic Church at the time. So he had to do it all in secret and was hiding all of his notes. And anyway, Da Vinci's pretty cool. Scream by Edward. Yeah, there's a Norman Rockwell exhibit going on right down the street from me. I'm going to check that out. It's free. Norman Rockwell's cool. Let's see, I'm getting all carried away here. How much further do you think I should go? I think I should go into the green now. Right? The foot's not longer than this part. So I think I'm going to change the color and just do a few rows of the green. You know who's another great painter? Carl Bloch and Harry Anderson. Carl Bloch was 1800s. And Harry Anderson painted in like the 50s and 60s. Kind of the advertisement type painting, but he did some religious things that were really cool too. Books. Well, I like the Bible. Let me think. I mostly like fiction, but nonfiction books, I'm a huge fan, and I honestly don't read much nonfiction at all. So, Charles Dickens. If I have to give you a nonfiction author, Christmas Carol is great. Great Expectations is great. But I honestly like reading more. Oh wait, sorry. What am I saying? Fiction. fiction. I got it mixed up, I think. So I like reading nonfiction. I usually just go for movies if I'm in a fictional mood. I just don't have the time to read. What do you read? I like the Book of Mormon too. Favorite Moby Dick. And why is that? I've never read that. But right at the beginning it says, "Call me Ishmael." Am I wrong? I think that's the extent of what I know about the book. Oh, and that it wasn't popular when it was written, and that it provides a glimpse of the peak right before the fall of the whaling industry. Gorgeous tale about vengeance. Oh, there you go. Yeah, vengeance. Okay, wrapping and picking again. Edgar Allan Poe, Cassie Edwards. Oh, what's the movie? Really, I would read, but I just don't have the time, mostly. But I made it a point to make it a tradition that we read Christmas Carol. If you read it like every week, you read so many parts of the book, you can finish a week before Christmas. But speaking of movies, there's a movie called The Revenant that's coming out with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. That one looks pretty intense. It's a story about a guy named Hugh Glass. Game of Thrones. Yeah, I've only seen bits of that. It looks too gory for me. I'm not a fan of violence for violence sake. And that's pretty much what it looks like. You know, sex and violence. A bit too much. If there's a story, I have no idea. But it just seems like it's drowning in blood. Is my crack? Game of Thrones is your crack, huh? Oh dear. Well, I use this this thing called VidAngel. It's a video streaming, and it lets you filter your movies or TV series. And they have Game of Thrones on it. And then it shows you can pick. I mean, you can really nitpick what you want to filter on it. So maybe I'll check one out. Is the story actually good, or is it really just about sex and murder? Sherlock. Yeah, I like Sherlock. Sherlock's great. Which one? The Benedict Cumberbatch? That guy's a weird cat. And oh, there's another Sherlock movie out with what's that guy's name? Ian McKellen. It's called Mr. Holmes. It's kind of a later story of Sherlock. It's a pretty good movie. Corruption is erroneous. It's King Arthur. Benedict Cumberbatch. Weird name, weird looking dude, but the chicks dig him. Yeah, he's a good actor. He's a great actor, really. You know, it's funny if you've seen The Hobbit. is the voice of Smaug is Sherlock, Mr. Cumberbatch, and then you have the Hobbit, which is Watson. So they're meeting each other in the Hobbit. I thought that was funny when that. Yeah, he's Smaug. Yeah, he's great. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Yeah. So the reason why all these Sherlock films and stories are coming out is the copyright's expiring on Mr. Doyle's works. So you're going to see a lot more coming out. You either hate it or love it, really. I think you're talking about Game of Thrones. Yeah, I've seen clips, and it just seemed way too. I think it was Honest Trailers. Was where I first watched or heard about Game of Thrones, and that Honest Trailers are hilarious, but I could tell it's not for me. I do like, I can stomach quite a bit on the violent side, but it just seems a bit over the top. I love paranormal haunting books and shows. I like there's a good-natured series. It wasn't bad at all. I let my kids watch it, but the Merlin, the BBC series, that was pretty good. I like that, except for the ending. Oh, the ending made me so mad. I think it's on Netflix, the whole series. It was fun. Then there's Psych, the comedy show. I don't know if anybody likes that. I enjoy that one. That was pretty fun. How about Turn? Has anybody seen that show? It's about Washington spies. That one's fantastic. It's got a lot of good people in it. Walking Dead. Yeah, that's another one I can't get into. I don't understand. Well, I do understand the world's fascination with the zombies, but I'm not into it. It's the same thing as the world's fascination with vampires. America's fascination with vampires, I should say. People that suck the life out of you. Because there are real vampires. Emotional, psychological vampires. Well, the Merlin thing was just fun. Yeah, there's probably some truth to the story of Avalon, or Albion, or whatever it is. Albion? Is that the island? I don't know what Avalon is. Is that a car? How many rows should I do? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there are. Yeah, there are. There really are. And once you see what's going on, I mean, this is going back to that Roy Masters guy. Once you kind of recognize that people suck the life, it's like they have to do it to get life themselves. It really is the same thing that a vampire does, sucking the life force out of you. And I really think that's why so many people are into these vampire shows, is because they can relate in one way or another, either as the victim, but the same thing happens. And you've probably noticed when you're around people that suck the life out of you, um, that you can become infected in the same way, where you then bring other people down. Of course, you don't have to have a stake driven through your heart to make it stop, but energy vampires, yep. Emotional vampires. Home of Avalon is the home of the Fae. I don't know what that is. You feel tired when you're in. Yep. Joyless. And like you just want to leave. So yeah, that's my theory as to why so many people like all these vampire things, is that they're relating and they don't know how to get out of it. And so they just relate and kind of empathize. And then the whole zombie thing, I think, is that people are recognizing how mindless, kind of what we talked about, where people just dwell on sports and just pay no attention to what's going on. They're just mindless hordes, and then the people that you care about in the show are the people that are actually awake. Like, what's worth watching from a psychological perspective, Catherine, is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's an old movie, but it's kind of all along the same lines of just of people kind of falling asleep and they're not themselves again. So since you're considering psychology, there's a lot of symbolic tones, and it's not a bad movie. It's black and white. It's an old one. Yep, it's on Netflix, and it's got at least one semi-famous actor in it. And it's not going to be scary. My wife never wanted to watch it because she spooks easily, but if you're watching Game of Thrones and all that, The Walking Dead, it should be a piece of cake. It was scary for its time when it came out. The pods. Oh yeah, in the movie, yeah, there's the pods. We won't give it. No spoilers though. Don't give any spoilers. But it's other movies that are great. Inception. That's probably, in my opinion, one of the best movies ever. Story was great. Music was great. Costumes were great. The actors. Everything about that movie was fantastic. Sets. Yeah, I'm not going to be watching any creepy movies. I'm not into that. Although the Owen Wilson movie that was out, No Escape. Oh, I watched that on the VidAngel thing. I cut out just the swearing, really, but that movie takes it to a whole nother level because it's realistic. If any of you have kids and you watch that, you're gonna part of you dies inside watching it. I guess in a good way. It makes you think. It doesn't destroy your soul. But if you watch it before you go to bed, you probably need to cleanse the palate with something lighthearted. So your parents loved Inception, but did you watch it? Have you seen it? What did I say what was called? Invasion of the Body Snatchers? I think gosh dang it, this heel is just puny. It's not fun. It just looks like like I just made a long tube. So I think I'll let you guys in on a secret. I'm going to Photoshop the heel in the thumbnail, and then I'll explain it. Oh, you have to watch Inception. Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Inception. Whoa, what a movie. It's hard to oversell that movie. Inception is about dreams and controlling your dreams. But it's hard. I think it's really hard to oversell that movie. But you know, when somebody says, "Oh, you have to see this movie. It's the funnest movie in the world." It's a, you know, or if they tell you it's a comedy, this is the funniest thing you've ever seen. Well, that immediately makes it so whatever. If you watch it, you're not going to think it's funny at all. So I'll just put it this way: it's worth your time watching, unless you like movies like Joe Dirt or I'm trying to think of stupid movies. What's another stupid movie? The one with Ben Affleck and J-Lo? Geely? If you like those movies, then just don't bother. All right, I think I'm done with the rose here. I'm going to finish this stocking. But yeah, I am going to Photoshop the thumbnail, and then I'll confess in the actual video. But I'll explain how to make it better. So what? Oh, so Sarah, you do art. Do you have a website, or what? Like, do you sell your stuff, or do you just kind of do it as contract work? Okay, so now we're going to pick off so that we just have one loop of yarn on each peg. Stephen King movies. The Green Mile. Was that the Tom Hanks one with the black guy who was innocent? Is that the movie? I'm not usually Stephen King. I did a short video in high school on one of his short stories. But yeah, Stephen King's messed up in the head. You don't come up with that kind of psychotic story without having some crazy thought processes going on. Was that a Stephen King movie though? Green Mile? All right, we're going to cut the yarn. I have to get a yarn needle. It was a Stephen King movie. Weird. I mean, he's good, but he's pretty psycho sometimes. Okay, so I just use this to thread the yarn on the needle. So this way I'm not messing around with a big fat mess of yarn. Michael Clark Duncan. I don't know. That sounds funny. You know, a movie I like is UHF with Weird Al. I think that one's great. Any of you seen that one? Have any of you? Has. My 10-year-old got to see most of the Green Mile, and she was impressed. Oh, I wouldn't let my 10-year-old see that. But, you know, from what I remember, I remember parts were pretty gruesome. If we're thinking of the same movie. That's Stephen King, so. Okay, so we're taking this off. So hopefully it doesn't look as bad as I think it's going to look. Yeah, I agree. I don't think kids should be watching that. I think that's a little too heavy. But my kids get doses of heavy world events, though. I'll tell them what's going on in the world sometimes, but I've scaled it down. I realized it was kind of stressing them out. You know, I want them to keep as much of their innocent youth as possible, but I don't want them to be oblivious. I don't have a website. More freelance. I did a lot of in-world business design. Oh, Second Life. Yeah, I remember. I watched, I think it was a TED talk about Second Life. So, online virtual gaming world. A lot of. Oh, yeah, Photoshop, all that stuff's fun. When I was a Boy Scout in California, this was in the 90s when Adobe was a really small company, but they're still pretty big, but not like they are now. We went on a tour of Adobe, the building. It just so happened that that was the same day that the president of Adobe was kidnapped in the parking lot. Oh, whoops, we just lost a stitch. Shoot. Yeah, so the president of Adobe was kidnapped and held for ransom the same day that we showed up as scouts. It's kind of weird. We didn't know it, obviously, but. Okay, all right, so we got this. I'm going to turn it inside out, kind of weave it. Weave it in and out of some of these things here. Okay, and then I'll just go through a few stitches just to make it secure. Can you see? Am I holding? Okay, there we go. I've got two cameras going, so I'm just trying to make sure I do this properly, or that so that you can both see it. You finish off hats the same way, yeah. And cut it there, and then tie a knot. Yes, didn't turn out exactly the way I was hoping. I mean, it's obviously Christmassy, so I think I'm just going to shove some pine cones and acorns in it. Let's see. There we go. There's supposed to be more bend to it. So if I spent more time on it, then so there we go. That's the finished product. Dang it. This is really bothering me. I wish there was like real life Photoshop. I could just, maybe I'll do that. That looks dumb. Anyway. Well, let's see. My bad start. Make it so is a Star Trek reference. I don't know Star Trek. An infinity scarf. You're the second person that's brought up an infinity scarf. I don't know what an infinity. I'll have to look that up. I've never heard of one. But anyway, thanks for watching. It's midnight here where I am, so it's crazy late for some of you. But if you want, I can send you. If you, I've been giving away stuff. So if you guys want a pick tool, I can send you an extra pick tool or something. Just click on the channel button and then about, and then you can send me a message and just give me your address and I will send you something, a pick tool or some kind of knitting device. But thanks for watching. I'm going to upload, basically it's a really long loom tube stitched together. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, I could have fun with that. Maybe I should do something like that. So yeah, just do that, and I think I'm gonna go to bed now. So yarn of a tool. Did I say that? Maybe it's late and I'm not speaking clearly. But Tina, Sarah, and Catherine, yeah, go ahead and do that if you want something. And I'll upload the finished version of this and let me know if there's any projects that you want me to do. Maybe I'll do, I don't know if somebody's done one, but maybe I'll do a Doctor Who infinity scarf. Like I only remember the Doctor Who from like the 70s with that crazy long scarf. So, oh, you click on the channel and then you click on about. And then I'll send something. So, oh, yarn or a tool. Yeah. Anyway, thanks. Have a good night and Merry Christmas.